Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum viewers. Welcome to our this series of videos in which we are discussing the ABAP programming, getting started with the ABAP programming. And in our previous video, we showed you uh, how we can quickly log on to a SAP and go to the SE38 with a certain program description with the object which we have created with the T code, right? And so let me show you again. Yeah, you log on like this. Okay, so this tool is available, and the comment you have the link of this file, and you can set it up for your own uh, environment, SAP environment, and it can quickly take you. You don't have to enter your password and credentials openly. So it on your behalf, it will log on to your system. And next is that you select the module on which you want to work. For example, this is the module which you're working, and now all the MM related objects are here. And this is our today's topic. And in a previous session, we showed you some activation and deactivation of the object and tackled the SAP messages which normally come on the status bar. Yeah, if I go to the SAP, there is an area which is called the status bar. Somewhere in the bottom of the screen, right? When you go to SE38, for example, manually, so you have some stated bar messages appearing, right? And when you click in here, for example, and you display, so on the status bar, the SAP talks sometimes. It gives you and if you save them, for example, if you deactivate, it is active at the moment. If you go to the change and you save it, for example, so it gets inactive. So this message has come that the program says. So this message can be useful. This status bar can be useful for us to get the information from the SAP, what it is saying, and change our VBA code accordingly, right? So this is another aspect of the automation, right? So what we do here is get back to SAP. Right? So we show you that how you can quickly go to your desired object with the desired T code, and you can start working on that, right? So if you are already logged in, you can simply, and you want to go to this, you can click execute. So it is going to take you to the desired program, right? So it has taken it, right? So this is the program which is being run, even if it is not activated. So program will attempt to activate it and run it, and it has done so, right? So this program was good for doing just the startup things. Actually, it is doing nothing. Only the selection parameters, the selection options, select options have been displayed, and also we use the text elements so that these elements, which are not descriptive, so their descriptive name is appearing instead of these names, right? So when you run them, so you get the selection options with the descriptive name, right? Right. Okay, so we explained this in our previous video. So in this video, we are going to talk about the structure of an already ABAP program. So ABAP programs are mostly responsible for data processing. There are different blocks. In one block, this is the major block. This is the header block, right? In which all the header information. These are editable. You can make changes in that. And then there are some other these are global and declaration browser. This is the declaration going on. Then you have a selection screen begin block, and then you give the block name. This name should be terminated with the end of the block with the same name, the frame, and this is created, right? So the next thing is that another part is the initialization, in which you initialize certain literals, certain variables and setups. So you initialize those variables, public variables, and then there is some other threads. The noticeable thing is that whenever a block is used, it is terminated with a period, right? Otherwise, it will start. The ABAP is very good in telling you that where you need to remember that this is the place, right? Because it will highlight into the red the next line because you are missing something. What you are missing the first topic. Yeah. So that's why. Similarly, if you have some other character also. So it is guiding you that you need to do something right. So with experience, you will learn all this. And when you start coding, typing your commands, so the ABAP helps you do certain inform. For example, when you write init for file, to initialize and comes again. So all you need to do is what? Click on the tab and click full stop. So this saves your time as well, and this is a good assistance being done by ABAP program. So ABAP structure is our today's topic, in which we are going to discuss what are the key elements of the ABAP structure. So the first thing is the top one, that is the header section, and then comes the declaration. You declare the global and local data, and then you have the dialog modules, and then you have event blocks, and then you have subroutines, and then you have the ABAP state. So this is the broad structure, right? It's a broad structure of the program, and you can comment it in your, for example, you're writing it, so you can write for your own memory. You can write them. The global, yeah. So SAP is wanted me to, do you want to save it? Okay, save it, no problem. Okay, so let's get back to here. And so the main thing which we want here to discuss is this is a recommended source. The tutorial campus provides you a lot of useful steps, stuff for SAP ABAP. The program structure. This is gives you a clear a structure of the program, understanding of the structure. So the top one is the header section, right? It's a header section, and in which you write the author name, etc., and date modified, and etc. And the next is the declaration part of the global. You can write declarations, right? And then you have some dialog modules, right? Dialog module to explain. And then you have event blocks, certain event blocks, and then you need to have certain procedures, subroutines, right? Okay. Okay. So what we do here is okay. The next is the subroutines. Subroutines are the part of the main procedure what you are writing. Subroutine, and we can do some other procedures which are in ABAP statements. ABAP statements. So these are the broadly worked out things which make your program structure, right? So we discuss briefly each of them, right? So the first is no, the first one was the declaration part of the global and local data, right? So before that, there was a header information which we showed that on the top of the header you have the program name, yeah, and you sometimes your program name starts with program keyword, and sometimes it starts with the report. If it is a report, then it will. So then comes the declaration part of this. The declaration part for global data, classes and selection screens, etc. Is the first part of the ABAP program declaration, in which you define all the classes, declare them, and selection screens, what's the selection screens. So it's a thought process of the programmer, which he intends to use during his program. So this part consists of all the declarations, the global data, and the selection screen definitions, etc. And all the classes, the implementation. If the class is to be implemented, you will have to implement the class. If it is using interfaces, then interfaces have to be also defined, and methods and subroutines and function modules, etc. These are the part of the declaration. So cross block content, the processing block container, even block containers are also used. So in which the foremost is the dialog modules, right? Dialog modules are actually, what is the dialog module? This is the question. So it is used to code a business logic that that relates the flow of the screens, the screen's flow, and dialog modules can also be called from the screen flow logic and screen command logic, right? Sorry. So SAP goes gets collected. Okay, we don't need it for the moment. So we are discussing these are the dialog. The dialog modules are coded in between the modules and end module statements. So that's the flow of M module and N module. Right. So and field should have the same name on both means dialog screen and the related ABAP program so that they can be referenced correctly and can be passed between the matching names fields in the program. The next is the event block for selection screen is that is it is actually the selection screen is a type of dialog. The different events in a selection screens like process after input or process before output. These are defined and use and user input is controlled by a selection screen processor. So, so this is the event program, and then comes uh, the event are with a event and event and it's a block for the instance. Okay, so there are other things like subroutines. What is the subroutine? Subroutine is a reusable section of the code. Can be called from different part of the program. We can define the subroutine in any ABAP program and can call the subroutines using the perform statement. The perform statement, right? That gives means the by using the perform, we say that, for example, there is a subroutine called X, and we say perform X means go to the perform X and do everything written in there and come back. So perform it, right? So the subroutines are defined using the form state and coded between form and end form statements. So these all are the naming conventions which are used. And here the question arises that what is the functional module, right? The function modules are external functions with a well-defined interface. We call the function modules from ABAP program using the call function. These are externally functions, not within the program, but they are external functions, and they can be called with the call function statement. So function modules are defined using the function statement and coded in between function and end function statement. So similarly, you have the classes. Within the classes, you may have certain methods, right, which code the thing which do the processes when a particular class method is being called. So method define the function of classes in ABAP object. Right? So methods are starting with method and closing with end method. That's it. And so please do go to this source. It will be very helpful for you to understand the startup structure of any ABAP program. So, and we will be using that reference, and we will follow our development on the line of in the light of all these things and naming conventions. Okay, thank you very much for watching.